Hello, beautifuls. I know I was supposed to be on Clubhouse um, tonight. Well, I'm recording this video tonight. It probably won't post because my laptop be taking forever to post a fucking video. And I got two different laptops. The newer one is the one that's slow as shit. Like, I don't know what's going on. Um, but it'll take forever to post it, so it might come on tomorrow morning. I don't fucking know, but I'm posting it tonight when I was supposed to be on Clubhouse because I went on Clubhouse and I had too many things to share, and I could not share them on Clubhouse. As I said, one of the ladies said that her YouTube channel is the dirty little secret of YouTube, and I know that it's because her content is more esoterically sound. Yeah, it's more esoterically sound. And even though some of her content is not always um into the occult, let's call it what the fuck it is, right? It is it does her work is a lot of downloads, and if you able to hear it, you're able to hear it. And then of course she has a private space where she talks more about esoterics. And you know what? I just decided from now on I'm not saying names. Like, I'm grown as shit. I'm just gonna start saying everybody's name. I don't give a fuck. Because my channel is the dirtier the dirtier little secret of YouTube, and nobody is really over here but croning black women and black women who are deciding to crone, and the crones themselves. Like, it's really small over here, and I like it like that. So I like it like that, and I want to keep it like that, right? And I just decided that Clubhouse was just too big of a space for me to be on, fucking telling all our fucking secrets, this small space, even though I'm not seeing everything, I'm seeing enough, to get you over the hump. But this that I'm gonna share tonight, right? I'm gonna share where well, not where I got it from, right? And this is how when we're talking about alignment and being in divine alignment, right? How one of the ways that I know that I'm in divine alignment, or that I am, um, you know, I am I'm really hearing the sound of mother, right? The divine mother is when I hear women that I know are connected or tapped into that frequency speak about the um same thing that I may have been speaking about, or that I may have thought, right? I know that I'm in divine alignment when that happens. So two ladies, two goddesses, right? Actually led me to this space, and of course my daughter is leading me into this conversation that I'm having right now. And this is gonna be specifically for the maidens. I think that the crones already know that this is what's happening, and I know that because I have talked to an actual crone, and um very briefly, I just wanted to know her opinion on something that she had said. And she had said that she had confirmed something that I was thinking, right? And I'm going to share it soon. And then also, I was in a KSC rooms the other night, and KSC said it flat out. And Miss Archduchess, because her channel is her YouTube channel is where she comes to, like, drop seeds and hope we catch them. But her esoteric knowledge is shared more in her private space, but she's been dropping seeds, hoping black women catch them. She actually catches herself from saying it, right? She tries to get black women to kind of come up on this thought on their own, right? Because again, that's how you're in divine alignment, right? I should not have to tell you all the time. I should not have to tell you all the time to get in this space, because you should already be in this space at sometimes, right? So anyway, and dealing with my own daughter, and I'll share our personal relationship, some of it. so that the maidens here can kind of, because she is a maiden, right? She is a maiden, and and some of the things that she is dealing with, I know that actual maidens are dealing with it, and I have seen those maidens in other spaces, and I said that a lot of them are headed towards self-loathing, right? Self-hating behavior, right? Self-hate talk, just, a whole lot of, basically, a whole lot of, anti-blackness, right? And black women, siren black women or croning black women are of course women first, right? But we have to, I had a video called the divinity in being a black woman, and it was in being black and woman, and that's true. There is divinity in being black. That's just a fact, right? I know that the apes out here wilding, and you can't believe it because they are black too, and it makes you doubt your own divinity and being a black woman, because how can, okay, I'm going all over the place. Let me let me backtrack. Okay, so it's too much self-hate going on, right? It's too much self-loathing going on for me to not speak on this issue. And I know we're coming up off of Roe versus Wade. I said what I had to say about it. I hope that most of the women here are actually croning black women and listen to what the hell I said, and start being very, very responsible with your wombs. I wanted to talk about that on Clubhouse today, and just talk about how men are just, again, leading all the spaces. It's just fucking making me sick. But at this point, right? At this point, I feel like for croning black women, that men should just be an afterthought, right? And I realize that's a problem for the maidens, right? Especially for black males to be an afterthought. And they are not able to detach their, it's like some kind of cognitive dissonance going on with them, right? And I know what it is. It's the same thing that I had trouble with as a black woman. And I realized that a lot of the women who are actual crones, they all had like these pro-black phases. And I kind of, when Miss Archduchess, when she got every now and again, you can hear it, and she admit in the last video that she actually said, she used to be pro-black, but I had heard it way before, right? But because I had been there, so I know what it sounded like, right? And if you are an actual mother of a maiden, you had to pro-black your child, right? I had no choice but to pro-black woman my child, because Blackistan was going to destroy her if I didn't, right? She's a dark-skinned black girl, and I had to teach her the glory in being the prototype of the original woman, right? I had to teach her the glory in being dark-skinned. I had to teach her the glory in being and having thick lips and a wide nose, and being very, very her features are very, very Negro, right? And even so more than mine, right? And but especially with her being dark skinned, right? Dark skin, right? Not Gabrielle Union dark skin. I mean like dark skin, like fucking Annalise Keating. And that's Viola Davis, right? But and my daughter actually was the one that taught me that. She has become a fierce gatekeeper of dark skinness, right? And she has let me know that Viola Davis is dark skinned, but Gabrielle Union is not. She would not consider her dark skinned. And you know what? This her world. This her world. She get to tell me, right? So in pro-blacking my daughter, right? For her own survival, for her own survival in Blackistan. And it wasn't just, I didn't pro-black male my daughter. I pro-black woman her. I went back. How I was able to learn about the goddess was because I went back that far to show her that she is the prototype, right? That all this shit is here because of her likeness, right? And her own personal divinity, and she is the prototype of the most beautiful woman, the most revered woman in all of history. The most powerful woman in all history looks exactly like her, right? So that was my work for my own daughter, right? That's what I did for her, right? But most maidens know this, right? I was able to confirm my daughter what she already knew in her spirit, what she already knew in her soul, right? So I was able to confirm it because I became well studied in history. I became well studied in Black history. I became well studied in ancient Black history, and I was able to teach my daughters, that. And how it went was, in case you was not pro-black, let me tell you how it went. So you was like, wait a minute, white supremacy is happening and all the white people hate us, right? And then you found out, you met those hoteps, and they was like, oh, queen this and queen that, and the kings, the ancient kings and pharaohs, and they were all black, and they was all dark black, really black men. And then you start digging deeper, and you found that the pharaohs was women, and they were dark black women. And right, and then when you go, they start telling you that the gods were black men, and then you start going back further, and you realize, oh shit, they were black women, right? So it really went like this. It went like, oh, white people stole history, the Greeks, right? Stole the history from black people, and it was black men that they stole it from, but black men had already stole that history from black women, right? And that's how my pro-blackness went. It went like, it went, oh, okay, white people lying about their white Jesus and their whiteness, and they lying. All the intelligence that they have, they stole it from black males. And then I realized, oh, wait a minute, the same way I felt about white supremacy, I still feel in this pro-blackness because it's pro-black male. So then I was like, that's not working for me either. I don't want to sit in that either, right? So then I started looking deeper into history and deeper and further into history, and I began practicing, my craft, right? Look, let's just call it what the fuck it is, I started practicing my craft, and that gave me a higher level of consciousness to be able to tap into, the spirit of the ultimate divine, which is, the divine mother. And that led me to study goddesses, right? And then the goddesses, of course, they started off just like everything else, white. And then I started studying deeper, and then as I started studying deeper, the goddesses became black, or not became black, they were revealed to be black. And then that was how I got to this here, right? That's how I got here, right? So I feel like now at this point, I feel like having black women come into this space, right? And all we can tell them is that the niggas hate us, and basically hate them niggas back. And just like they have been betraying us for years, let us decide to leave their asses for dead, and we betray them, right? Or in a sense betray them. But we don't have any loyalty to anybody but ourselves, right? They are supposed to have, because they came from our fucking wombs. How about that, right? They are supposed to have a loyalty to us because we fucking birthed their asses, right? But we don't technically have to have a loyalty to them, right? As Shay's World said, black women are born fucking free. And that's the fucking fact, right? We owe no one nothing in this realm. As a matter of fact, we the only people that's born free. We the only people that don't owe shit. We come into this realm with fucking zero debts. How about that? And because we're not doing the esoteric work, right, with these women that's coming into divested spaces, and divested is just, look, I know y'all want to hold on to divested, but if you go over into some other spaces and see how divested black women behave, you would really be disgusted. Like, you really would not want to attach yourself to divestment, because it really has just turned into going from black male worship to white male or non-black male worship. Like, it's fucking mind-boggling to me. But that's what the fuck it is. And I don't, and that's disgusting to me. That's so far fucking beneath me. I don't know. I can't even, I can't. Like, like, I can't. Okay? So these women, they come into these divested spaces and it's no context, right? It's no esoteric knowledge. No one is learning anything. You just know that the niggas hate you and, bitch, I'm gonna hate you back, right? That's all we got. But see, these women, or these young women and mothers and even crones that's coming into this space, right? Let me say, crone and black women, right? These are women that have attachment to, it's not divestment, it's not just divestment for them. It's some kind of spiritual calling. It's some kind of spiritual awakening for them. And divestment will not feed that for them. Not only will it not feed that for them, it will force them to run. Because when you come into divested, when you're coming into your cronehood, right? When you're coming into this, you come into it realizing that in some kind of way, all of the males are just beneath you, right? I mean, just all of them. That's a fact. And then you come into divestment because it sounds good, right? Because you've only been dealing with apes any fucking way, and it sounds good, like, fuck them apes, right? And you, y'all, my kid be around here doing too much. But, he a male, and he probably be hearing me bash males, and he be like, come on now. Y'all know that cats are supposed to be ancient, right? So anyway, that's not, alright, that's not what I'm not here to talk about cats, right? Anyhow, so these women come into this space and they like, yes, fuck the apes. Finally, somebody saying it. The apes ain't shit. And then it's like, fuck the apes, but let's hop on white males. And then they lost. Like, wait a fucking minute. Hold up. Hold up. Because I came over here to say that the apes wasn't shit. I sure the fuck ain't come over here to start worshiping white males. Right? Because for my daughter, right, she had already been my daughter already been pro-black, right? So, and being pro-black, we had already learned some things about white people. We had already learned some things about white males, and we had already learned some, and I think that this also links into, Roe versus Wade, right? And how, you know, white males may be really trying to preserve their race. Like, that might really be a thing, y'all. No, it might not. I mean, it's not might. It definitely is a thing, right? White males are trying to preserve their race. And so for the nastiness of that, you already knew that white males was, or for, you know, as us pro-black people were saying back in the day, like, we had to teach them how to walk upright and come out the caves. Like, look, that shit was all true. Like, I'm not gonna lie about it because apes ain't shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie about the fact that they was, you know, dirty and smelly and nasty and they had to be, you know, taught how to bathe. That's a fucking fact. As a matter of fact, when I first started dating out, and the guy that I started to date out with, you know, we have formed a beautiful, beautiful friendship, and it's very loving, and he's, you know, even though his history is climbing out the caves, you know, he's a very, 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 he's a good white guy, right? But when we first started talking, I had to ask him that he wash his legs. Like, that's the real shit. Like, they don't be washing over there. That's the truth. And not only that, I had to look, just like in ancient times when them apes wanted to have sex with Becky and had forced black women to wash her stinking ass up. I had to teach my guy, like, listen, you gotta use lotion. I know that you white, but you still have to put lotion on, you fucking barbarian. Psych. Psych, y'all. But anyway, yeah. So I'm getting back to what I'm saying, right? So these women, in their own divinity and their own cronus, right? They coming over here seeking, like, okay, look, the niggas ain't it. And then you tell them, wait a minute, hop right from the niggle right to fucking people we had to teach how to wash up. Like, it's making no sense to them. It's making zero sense to them, and they are running out of divestment fast. And they're running right back to the apes because they're not realizing the real issue. And with these males, they're not getting it because it's no spirituality connected in divestment. It's just, let's hate apes and let's move on to white men. And I feel like maidens deserve more than that. Maidens deserve the truth. And I had to realize that with my own daughter, because I've been hiding a lot of the truth from her because I did not want to hurt her feelings, right? And just a few other things about my daughter. She went to an all-girls school because I just couldn't send her to school with no fucking apes. I just couldn't do it. But she went to an all-girls school, and once she got out of school, I tried to send her to an all-girls college, but she was like, you're not gonna do that to me. No. No, I'm going to where the fucking boys are, right? And she went to where the fucking boys are, but, I had already pro-blacked her that her dark skin was beautiful, that her, wide nose is beautiful, that her thick lips are beautiful, and how could I teach her that, right? And then not expect her to be attracted to black males. And I realized in some divested spaces, they over here saying that the apes is ugly. And they get really, really fucking racist in they get anti-black in their insults to the apes, right? My insults to the apes is that they dusty, they fucking poor, and they are fucking conquered, and they ain't shit, and they I said they was poor, and they poor again. But I have literally heard them being called black, big lips, and big noses, and just the same things that's on my face. The same things that's on my face is being insulted to them, is being used as an insult to them. And I'm just like, hold up, because I may be able to, me and my big age, I may be able to understand what black women are saying, but the maidens can't understand that. They're not getting it. That's why they're so fucking self-loathing. And in a lot of divested spaces, I am seeing it, and with my own two eyes, right? 20 and 21 and 22 and 23-year-old black women being self-loathing, hating their blackness, right? And it's because divestment is teaching them to hate blackness. Because divestment is teaching them to hate blackness. And it's not blackness that's being hated right over here. It's not blackness that I have a problem with. I don't hate apes because they black. That's why apes hate me. Right? I hate apes because they're weak and they're fucking self-hating and they're fucking evil and they're fucking vicious and they're fucking harmful. Right? I don't hate them because they have big noses, right? I don't think that big noses are unattractive. I don't think that big lips are unattractive. I don't think that dark skin is unattractive, right? And none of these girls, none of these young women, no black woman, even if she's a crooning black woman, is finding those things unattractive. That's not why we don't date black men, or that's not why we don't deal with black men, right? So when you get into these spaces with these young black women, you're causing some kind of cognitive dissonance in them, right? Because the same thing that I taught my daughter was beautiful and was glorious, I now want to tell her, if I'm speaking from a divested space, and I don't speak to my daughter from a divested space, I speak to my daughter as a crone, right? But it was still hard for me to get this to her, to just say it, until, as I said, Miss Archduchess had hinted at it in her past, the last video that she did, and KSC has said it flat out, that they don't like you because you're black. You know, and I had to, and I know that hurts, right? Because I had already did the fucking pro-black work with my daughter when she went to school, and they told her that she was black and ugly, right? And now I'm having to, as she begins to be, you know, grow into womanhood, into blossom into a woman, and she's, you know, dating and looking for her own likeness, right? Because that's what's beautiful to her, because I taught her that's what the fuck is beautiful, right? I taught her that those things were glorious, right? And I taught her to love those things for herself. So when she's looking for and she's seeking a mate, that's what she's seeking, and that's normal. I know y'all don't want to admit it. Y'all want to trash black women. And this video may just be for maidens, and it may be for mothers, but it's definitely not for harsh divestors. I know you don't want to hear this shit because you're kind of self-loathing. You know, you're kind of self-loathing. You harsh divestors, you're kind of self-hating. You don't like your big nose, you don't like your big lips, and you don't like your dark skin, right? Those are not things that you like, right? So to hear me say that it's normal for black women to be attracted to black men, that's normal. Listen, let me tell you something. White women like white men, okay? That's their preference. Latinas, their preference is Latino men, okay? Asians, their preference is Asian men. That's their preference. First pick, okay? And let me tell you where we have this problem. And KSC, it was an existential crisis. That was her title for it, right? And I know that it is because I've been scared. I could not say it out of my mouth to my daughter. I couldn't tell her that apes don't like her because she's black. I even let her for a little while think that it was because she is, and I kind of swayed her away from that because she is a bit chunkier, right? You know, she is a bit fuller figured than the girls that may be her age. She's not real thin. She has a more you know, plump body. Let's say that, right? And not that she's, you know, grotesquely fat or she's fat. But she's average American size. She wears a size fucking 14, 16, you know? so she thought that for a while was because she, you know, she was that size and she lost weight, right? And I just was thinking to myself, I'm just watching her try to appease these fucking apes, right? And then I said to her, you know, when we was talking, and she was like, you know, this was back before she got into schools with boys, and, you know, before she got into school with boys. Because now that she's in the school with boys, now she's losing weight and she, you know, she's becoming fit, right? But when she was back in her high school, she told me flat out that the boys did not like her because, you know, she was, what she said was fat, right? And I told her back then, I said, that's a fucking lie, right? That's a fucking lie. Don't believe that. You know, don't believe that. But I couldn't tell her the real reason they don't like you is because you're black. Because that's not something she can fix. Right? See, it was easier for me to allow her to believe that it was because she was thicker, right? Because now she can go down. You know, she has went down from a size 14 to a size 10, and ain't nothing changed, right? And she'll go from a fucking 10 to a size fucking 6, and nothing will change because what they don't like about her is something that she cannot change, right? And in the room that KSC had on Clubhouse, she said it's an existential crisis. And she went on to say that black women, you know, put on wigs and makeup and so on and so forth. And I had already said that black women are getting advice from fucking males on how to look like a woman. That shit was crazy anyway. But it's just the fact that black women, young black women, especially, are trying to figure out how to appease the men who don't like them because they are black. Because they black. If you are made in here listening to me, honey, and you may have been in some divested spaces and you just couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on, I'm here to tell you it's because you're black and it's nothing you can do about it. I remember being a young woman, and I got a pig snout, y'all. I got a pig snout, right? And I used to hate it. I used to hate my nose. And my aunt pulled me in close and she said, look, that's the nose that you got, and you got to learn to live with it. You have to learn to love it. You're not getting another nose. And of course, that was, of course, before plastic surgery became a big thing in Blackistan, right? We didn't, do plastic surgery. That was another thing that KSC spoke about. So I, of course, did not know I could get a new nose back then. I was, this was what, the 90s. I didn't know I could get a new fucking nose if I didn't like mine. So my aunt probably did not even think that was an option for me. So she just let me know, like, you're gonna have to love that nose. Like, you're gonna have to live with it. And there was something I learned to do. Listen, let me tell y'all, I got a fucking nose ring in it. I got a couple nose rings in it. And look, I decorated it how I like, and I love it. It's the cutest fucking nose I ever seen. Okay? But the point I'm trying to make is, if you're a black woman and you're trying to figure out why these apes don't like you, it's because you're black. Okay? It's because you're black, and it's nothing that you can do about that. There's nothing you can do about that. You have to live with being black. You're never going to be able to change it. And if you could change it, you would not be the divine woman that you are. You would be regular, like the rest of women. You would be regular, like Asian women and white women. You would be fucking, mediocre. Okay? I felt like that was something that we need to just be honest about. Y'all, we can't I had to be honest about it with my daughter. KSC just now hosted an event on Clubhouse where she was just honest about it. Like, let's just get down to the nitty gritty, y'all. The niggas don't like y'all because we're black, right? And I remember when and then she was talking about existential crisis. And if you follow me on Clubhouse, Cree actually mentioned that black women were deciding to, were in divestment. They were, having a suicide, right? And I didn't really want to touch on that, right? And when I spoke about queens, right? When I spoke about queens, and y'all need to go back and watch that video. When I spoke about the queen consorts, I felt like that was a safe option for black women, right? If black women don't want to, live in their cronehood and only deal with men if men are going to be of service, right? And I mean, not only does he have to, for me, right? Not only does he have to be of service to me, he has to now be of service to black women, period. Right? So, as they say in the divested circles about white knights, my white knight, right? If I'm going to decide to date a white male, he has to not only come and be of service to me, he has to be of service to the entire queendom. right? He has to be in service to the entire queendom. He has to make my life so much easier that all I do is black women's work, right? I'm serious. So I will never date, or I will never date one of them either. Right? And that's a part of being a crone. And that was something that I had to come to terms with, in being a crone, that if no male is good enough, right, for me, or meets my standard, that am I okay with being alone, right? And a lot of black women won't be okay with that, right? And I had to deal with that. And black women all around these YouTubes are dealing with that in different ways, right? You hear some black women, and I'm just gonna say her name because I'm not saying anything bad about her. Although I may have said something bad about her in the past, I didn't say her name back then. I'm saying her name today, right? Like Cynthia G, she's realized that, you know, black women are not gonna be able to be alone. So listen, just go over there, you know, and get fucked by apes. Now that's her way of dealing, of living and dealing in the fact that all black women will not be able to really live in their true divinity and be able to stand 10 toes down and say, this is what the fuck I need from a male if he's going to be in my space. And if I don't have it, I won't deal with none of y'all. Right? And that's truly where I am, right? This is what the fuck I need from a male. The black males are out, so white zaddy, if you want to come over here, it's a whole queendom of us, and what I need you to do is provide the life for me in which I can just, you know, put my focus on black women's work. And my focus on black women's work is not only, you know, in this work that I do on YouTube, but also in medical, in the medical field, right? Look, nigga. And when I say nigga, of course I'm talking about white males too. Nigga, listen, this is what you need to do. You need to come over here and make it easier for me to make it easy for black women, bitch. Or I don't want you either. And that's for white males, right? So I'm okay in living in that. Cynthia G has decided that black women, just like I did, right? The majority of black women not going to be able to be in that way, right? And to live in that kind of sovereignty, right? And she's decided, you know, just to tell him to keep on getting murdered you know what, I said I wasn't gonna be nasty about it, right? So she's decided that the best way was to just let black women know, you know, you can fuck apes, just don't get pregnant by them, right? And when I made that video about the queen consorts, right, I was talking about most of the divested women I know. And that was just letting them know, listen, if you're not going to be a regnant queen, right? A queen all on your fucking own, a sovereign queen, a croning black woman, right? If you're not going to be that kind of woman, just become a queen consort to a white male. You know, look, go over into their patriarchy, into the folds of their patriarchy, and just live your best life, sis. Right? And that was my solution to black women. I felt like that was safer than having her risk her life and, you know, fuck with apes every 5 hours. And that was, you know, that was what I said. I stand by it. You know, most black women are not going to be able to be sovereign queens. They're not going to be able to be croning black women. And if they're not, they can just be a queen consort to white males, right? But is there some truth to that being suicide? Right? And that's what I had to get to. And when I decided to start with dating white males, right? When I decided to start dating out, I decided to start dating out already having a daughter, a fully black daughter, right? And I found comfort in it. I won't lie. I found comfort in the fact that I had already, you know, did my work in this realm. I had already recreated myself as far as having a daughter that was, you know, fully black. And, you know, now I had decided, okay, I can date out, right? When I first began to divest, right? Before I realized, you know what, this divest is a little bit low tier, right? But one of the comforts I found in divesting and dating out is that I had already had a daughter. You know, if I met a white male and his ass was really able to put the world at my fucking feet, and I decided to bless him with fucking children, that I had already, really did my work, The rest of the children would be added on, add-ons, right? But I had already did my work, right? And that's how I felt. That made it easier for me to divest, right? But I know that black women are having issue with that, right? And divesting. And that's something that they constantly say, oh, what am I going to do about, not having black babies? Not continuing the black race, letting the black race end, right? That's another reason why they don't want to divest. They don't want to crone because they don't want to abandon the black race. Right? At some level, black women do not want to abandon the black race. And even my own self, in my own divesting, I had concluded that I wasn't abandoning the black race because I had already had a black baby. I had already had a black daughter. So I was, I had already decided that was, I had did my work. I had given the world a black daughter. I had did my work, right? And black women are, trying to figure that out, right? And then that's when we move on to the question of, like a subconscious suicide, right? Are we deciding as black women that that's it for us? And for us croning black women, right? Who truly understand the divinity in being a black woman. And Miss Usher Duchess said it. And sometimes, I'm telling you, that pro-black just slips out, right? Slips out of her mouth, and I just be like, there you go, Dutch. And I just be like, there you go. Because I know that it's there because it's there for me too, right? And she said, if y'all just want to have daughters, then just have daughters, right? And because the thought of, hold up, we like crowning black women really don't want to die out. Like, we're not apes. Like apes have decided to really they really have decided the exact same thing that black women are having trouble with in dating out is the exact reason why black males date out, right? Black women don't want to date out because they don't want to commit suicide and not have any more black daughters, at least, right? Or for crowning black women or divested black women over there calling blue black girls nappy headed and shit too. So they a little weird, they're a little self-loathing that I notice is going on over there. It's fucking weird to me. So I don't know about them, but for crowning black women, right? We don't want black women to never exist, right? What we want, if we could have it our way, right? If the crowning black women could have it our way, we would probably, let me speak for myself. We would probably just go back to the times where it was just us. And I'm being honest. And it's how I know that it's how us crowning black women know that we are of that divine bloodline that goes all the way back to when it was just women. Because we really know that it would be glorious, right? We really know that it would be glorious if it was just us. Like, we could, because it was glorious before, right? Our souls remember. So we don't want to get rid of all the black girls, right? We just want to not have any more fucking sons. And that was some comfort I had in divesting and walking into being a crone and knowing that I never wavered into self-hate or self-loathing or any of those things, because I had the history and those and I'm using air quotes here, those master teachers, right? That we mentioned, the ones that, we'll mention, like Dr. John Henry Clark and Dr. Francis Cress Welsing and Chancellor, whatever his name was, and Ishaka Musa, I forgot what his Ishaka Musa, like all of those, and I did the work, y'all. I read all of those books. I was really, look, I was reading them to my daughter. I did the pro-black work, god damn it. And I don't think, I believe Frances Cress Welsing was being disingenuous. I think that, and I think that a lot of sovereign black women on YouTube that call themselves sovereign, I think that they're being disingenuous. I think that they know, right? They know that somehow we have to just, literally be, as Erica says, let us really be a race of no males. Like, let us really be that then. If we're not going to have any men in our race, right, then let us be a race of no males, right? Let us just be, black women. And I truly believe, and this is really getting into the esoterics, I truly believe that black women have the power to do that because we have done it before, right? We have been a race of no males. We have been a people of no males, a women of no males. We have done that before. We have lived on earth where there was no males, and I think if we could, that's, we're gonna talk about that in private, but it's possible, right? That black women be able to do that, right? And I think that when we're talking about that I don't even think I think that it's like, so for apes, they know when they are deciding not to be with black women. Amen. And we're grateful for that because they're very abusive to black women. They are very harmful to black women. It's kind of like divine intervention. Like mother has, just decided, what, let's just let some more people be on earth instead of just the black race so that these apes can get the fuck away from us. Right? So other people are on earth so the apes can, and as soon as the other people got on earth, them apes was getting the fuck away from us. And we took it in our body, but hey, it might be a blessing. Let them apes go the fuck about their business, right? But what they are doing is technically a suicide, right? They are deciding, first of all, let me tell you what they're really deciding, right? Because the divinity in black women is in black women. Okay? All right? And that's that. The divinity in black women is in black women. That's why black women who date out and have mixed children, that's why their children are different. You know how we all know, you can always tell the children, the mixed children who have a black mother, right? You can always tell those children because they are different. They are a bit divine because the divinity in black women is in black women, right? And it's passed down through her, right? So these apes have decided to date out and they decided to start making children with non-black women. They have decided to breed themselves out of existence, right? Which is okay. We're not mad at that, right? As calling black women, we have already grieved about that fucking what, some of us it's been 15 years, for the rest of us it's been 5 years we've been grieving, and then for some of us it's been since the fucking pandemic hit, and all we had to do was just sit with ourselves and the divine mother. If we ain't want to get murdered by them, we ain't want to get murked by them fucking apes. We was sitting by our motherfucking self, and we was, we had nothing else to do but listen to her. That's all the fuck we did. We started meditating, we started eating good, we started taking care of ourselves. Look, we learned how to read tarot. We journaled every day. We did all the things to connect to the divine mother, and as we did, it became easier for us to hear her, But anyway, them apes was over there, committing suicide for millennia, And in divestment, I think that a lot of black women in divestment are subconsciously, committing suicide. Yep. Yep, and I think that those women you can usually tell because you never hit a pro black slip up slip up out of them because they don't like being black either. Just like the apes, don't like being black, they don't like blackness either, right? Um, and you know, and that's the truth of the matter. They kind of like the apes in that way. They are very, very self-loathing, and um they don't truly see anything divine about being a black woman. And you know that because they say it. They say that they never ever mention anything that is esoteric. They never ever mention anything that is spiritual. They never ever mention anything that is black woman supremacist. Damn it. you know In order for her to be a crone, she gotta be a little bit black woman supremacist. Just a little bit. She don't gotta be as radical as me, but she gotta be a little bit, she gotta feel like black women top tier, some kind of way. Even if she can't really explain how, she just gotta feel like, black women are top tier. And I think that in the more esoteric, divested spaces, and of course over here, once I, of course, create a private space, we will get more into the truth of the matter. And the truth of the matter is that black women are divine because they are both black and woman. And if we were not black, we would just be regular. And we have to be honest about the apes forfeiting their divinity. Some kind of way, they decided, you know what, this ain't it, I don't want it, and, I hate myself so much, and I hate my mothers so much, and that I don't want to, I don't want it. I don't want it, and I'm not gonna, be included in it. And as George Washington Carver died, so and Booker T. Washington, and I wish that I could name like more black men that were truly secure in their blackness and truly like true real community builders and real true leaders in the black community. But I swear they the only two I got. And George Washington Carver was, George Washington Carver was castrated. So he had no wild sex, that most black males have, right? He was castrated, and I think that is why he was able to tap into such a divine part of him, right? Maybe that's the only. Oh gosh, look. We gonna talk about that in a private space but I'm just gonna, y'all look. Sometimes I have learned from Miss Archduchess. Sometimes you just gotta throw things out there to black women and hope they connect the dots. George Washington Carver was definitely a divine black man. He was really able to talk to plants. He was really able to talk to plants like a fucking god. And he was castrated. And y'all do what y'all want with that information. Y'all do whatever y'all want with that information. Y'all connect the dots however y'all like. But I'm just letting you know that he was, he was very, very godlike, and he was also castrated. And y'all live with that however you like. But that's the fact of the matter. But also Booker T. Washington, he was also a community builder and built for black people. But that's all I got. But I'm talking about good black men. Like, those are the only two that I can ever think of, who did not betray black women in some kind of way. Like, that's all. That's the end of the story. That's the end of the story. I don't have nothing else. And I think that's all I came to say that um I know that, some people think that it's more responsible to, continue talking about Roe versus Wade. But to be honest, black women don't want to talk about that. So it's like what's done is being done, and the best thing that we can do as Cronin black women, to you maidens over there, listening in the clouds and not really commenting, right? Just get on some birth control. It's at this point. Before it was racism, it was sexism. Okay, so with that being said, I don't think that it's a good time to have no baby for none of these men. None of them. I don't think that it's a good idea to be in close proximity to an ape at all. But I don't think that we should be having none of these niggas babies as black women right now. Maybe that's how. Look. Maybe that's how we can get back to a race of all women. Like, let's just stop fucking them and see what happens. Let's just stop for a little while. Let's just stop fucking them and, like, see if we could, like, go back to what we once were. Let's stop defiling ourselves with males, because at this point, I have realized, and with my own self, that any time I was with a male, regardless of his race, it was defilement. He was defiling me. He did not deserve me in that way. And it was defilement. And maybe if we stop defiling ourselves with males, Mother will grant us the life that we that us Cronin women really truly want, right? And that is to be as we once were, and to be literally a race of women with no males. But right now we say a race of women with no men, but like no males, no violent males. Like, let's just, take a break. Let's stop letting males Now this is true crone shit. Now I know a lot of us not gonna be able to do that, and for those black women who are not able to do that, still send me your emails about your Discord so that I can add you to our to my Discord, because it, god damn it, it's a way to still, if you're going to play a queen consort, let the crones direct you on how to do that. Okay, baby sis, if you insist, which at this period I'm undecided. But for right now, I'm gonna sit it out. But if you want to be a queen, if you want to play, no crone is ever a queen consort, right? No Cronin black woman is ever a queen consort. But if you want to play this game with these males and their patriarchy, and you want to play a queen consort, that does not exclude you from being a crone, all right? Because Cronin black women definitely play, queen consorts. And, it's a role in the patriarchy that some women, decide to play. Most divested women are queen consorts, but Cronin black women, we can play them well. we can play a queen consort very, very well. Okay. So if you are a Cronin black woman and you like, wait a minute, this woman is talking to Preen. Now, Preen talking about not being with men. Now she wilding. I mean, she already said that the apes are out, and those are the men that I find most attractive, because those are the men that had the same features that I have been taught to love. She's already fucking X them niggas out, and now she's telling me, and no males. Now she wilding. Now she doing too much. Now she's doing too much. So to those ladies, no, I'm not saying that males are completely off the table. Okay, we like men, but god damn it, they gonna be a service. I know that. They gonna do some fucking work around here. And yeah, I think that's what I got for the night. I'm gonna try to post this tonight. I hope that it does post tonight because I did commit to being on Clubhouse, and I did open a room for like 1 minute and someone came through. I forgot who it was, but I had closed the room within like 2 minutes. And it was because I went through the halls of fucking Clubhouse and it was so many males again talking about abortions. Like, what niggas? Like, what niggas, males? What are y'all talking about? Y'all disrespectful. Y'all shouldn't even understand what the fuck a womb is. Y'all should still be kind of trying to figure out, well, they are trying to figure out how wombs work. They still don't know how a fucking womb work. But, y'all should be, like, still looking at us as the fucking amazing goddesses that we are. We are able to bear life, and you instead want to control it, like, and women on stage is arguing with them. Like, come on now. This makes no sense. It makes no sense. None. But anyway, that's what I got for tonight. I hope that you ladies had a good week. It's Thursday. I'm off this weekend. Y'all, maybe, if y'all, send me an email. Well, y'all be sending me back channels on Clubhouse. Like, are you open up a room? Like, if you insist this weekend, I will early, like, have a room just to chop it up, but it will of course be a room that I'm not gonna leave up no replays. We just gonna come in and just chop it up as Cronin black women and just I guess, like, shoot out shit and just talk. I put the blessing that the only people that come and listen to this video is those with ears to hear, those that are necessary, need to hear this message. Those black women that are in divested spaces, like, what the fuck is going on over here? This sounds like self-hate. May you find this message and may it serve your soul, and may it not get into the ears of the apes or in the ears of white zaddy who now has decided to prey on black women's desperation. I don't like that from them either. Like, I don't like what the fucking apes have done physically and emotionally and spiritually to black women, but white zaddy can't really do too much spiritual shit to black women, and us Cronin women know why. But yeah, he can definitely, come over here and use us as, the supreme life force energy that we are. And I don't appreciate that either. And, I don't really like it. I don't really like that either. It's rubbing me the wrong fucking way. So, may this message only be for those, who have ears to hear it, and may only you find it. Have a good night, ladies. Enjoy the rest of your week. It's Friday. We're gonna go ahead to work tomorrow, bump them 8 hours out the way, and enjoy our weekend of, I don't know, depending on where you're located at, but it's very warm here. And stop trying to guess where I'm from. Like, stop that. Stop trying to guess where I'm from, and stop, if you can fucking guess, or if you might think that it's a location that you might know where I'm from, don't comment it. Like, what are y'all trying to do? What are y'all trying to do? Don't be trying to guess where I'm from, and don't be fucking commenting where I'm from in the comments. I don't like that. I'm gonna start deleting them. Like, I don't like that. Fucking apes are dangerous, I would never do that to you ladies. I would never share your location, and or any of your personal information, at all with nobody. So stop trying to guess where I'm from. Stop it. And that's that, y'all. Love y'all. Enjoy y'all weekend. I might have a Clubhouse room.